Good morning, YouTube. I'm coming on. I'm gonna show you guys how I make the red chili for my tamales. I'm gonna show this to you in segments, but you'll see this in all one video. So right now, I'm gonna show you what you need to get the chili going, um, to get it boiling, and like the process that I do to cook my red chili and make fresh red chili. Now this red chili isn't just for tamales. You can use it for enchiladas. You can use it just to have it on hand, or actual red chili with beef or pork and potatoes. So let me show you what you're gonna need just to get it started, to get it boiling. And I'm sorry in advance for all the noise. I have the dishwasher going. I have the little one back here. She's talking. The two of my older children are in the living room watching Mr. Bean, so that's where all the noise is coming from. So first off, you're gonna need some vegetable broth or chicken broth, a broth that's kind of light. So this is the one that I'm using. So I have my vegetable broth here, minced garlic, and then you're also gonna need a whole small yellow onion. So I have mine quartered here. I'm gonna get it finished getting peeled, and then I'm going to get it into the pot. So let me turn you a little bit so I can show you what we're about to do. Oh, and then also you're gonna need a bag of chilies. Why is it every time I start recording you guys come in the kitchen? You're gonna need a bag of chilies, whatever your level of heat is, that's what you use. I'm using mild just because I have others that are eating with, and it can get a little spicy if it goes hotter than that. Alright, so here we go. So in our pot, we're going to add the broth. I have already shaken this, so I'm just going to add this into my pot, the whole carton. Set that to the side. I'm gonna throw in my onion. You can take her with you if you want. I had just put her in there just. Okay, so we're just gonna take the outside off of the onion, and we're gonna get the onion put into the pot. Now I want you to know everybody does theirs different. So no two types of red chili are the same. You just ate breakfast about an hour ago. It's kind of early for a snack. So no two pots of red chili are going to be the same. Now the way I make mine is how I was taught. Yes, I'm an African American woman, but I grew up in a Mexican family, and I just, that's just the way I'm going to show you is how I grew up with it and how I like it, and I'm not going to deviate from the way that I was shown to make it. Now I have, changed the recipe over time, but that's because I've learned to properly adjust so that it's not so bitter or so spicy. So now you're going to see me add in the garlic. So I don't know, about maybe 4 cloves. I don't really measure. Unfortunately, like when I give you guys recipes, you're going to have to adjust the seasoning and stuff to your liking, just because I don't measure. So that's why you always hear me say about, just because I could, like if I were to sit and measure it for you, I'd be here all day. So that's in the pot. Just set it right here in the sink. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to get this on to start boiling. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to clean out our chili pods. And by that, what I mean is we're going to take off the ends and we're going to shake the seeds out. Now these chili pods are soft and pliable, meaning that these are still fresh. They're not old yet. Normally when your chili pods get old, they are like dry, really dry and hard and crispy. So like when you tear the end off, it's just gonna crack and it's not gonna tear off nicely, and you can just get all the seeds out. But the one thing about with that though is like if you were to shake it, all the seeds would just come out because it's dry and they've already like started detaching from the chili pod itself. So right now, this is what you see me doing, is cleaning this out. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I have a paper plate right here. So let me just move so the lighting is not so bright. Alright, so I have my finger in here. You see I'm just making sure to get the chilies out. I mean, you can leave the chili seeds in there, but I just prefer to take them out. And then for the chili, I'm going to do about a half a bag, because when I make my masa, and I'm going to show you guys how I make my masa, I will be adding a little bit of broth to it to help with the moisture, not just, you know, adding in the chili. So I'm going to show you a few more of these, and then I am going to take you guys to the next scene when it's time to get to the next scene. And in the next scene, you're gonna see this. I'm gonna show you what it looks like after it's been boiled. So I'm gonna show you the pot after it's been boiled, and then I'm gonna take you along as I put it in to the blender to blend, and I'm gonna show you like the whole entire process, because after it's been blended, I'm gonna strain it into a bowl to make sure that there's like all the, if there's any chunky particles left, that all of those are out. So yeah, so you guys are gonna get to go along with me as I do this process. Like I said, everybody has their own way of doing things. Everybody is grown up different, making them if it's a part of their tradition, their family tradition. This is the week before Christmas, so I will be hopefully getting this all done before Christmas. So that is the goal. So that you can see, I mean, you don't have to make tamales for Christmas. Tamales are a year-round thing, but traditionally, the family gets together and you make them for Christmas. So yeah, so I know I say a lot. It's because I'm trying to gather my thoughts and do this at the same time, and I'm trying to make sure I'm not like skipping anything. And then also I have my beef here, sitting right here on the side of the counter. So then when it comes time to show you guys how I mix the red chili into the beef, I'm going to show you as I'm shredding the beef, and I'm going to also show you as I'm mixing the masa, because not all the red chili is going to go into the masa. Some of it will go into the beef. So I am going to get this all finished up, and then we will be going to the next step. Alright guys, see you, well, no, not even see you guys later, because what am I talking about? This is my first time doing like a whole long segmented video. I normally end it and go to the next thing, but not today. Good morning, YouTube. I'm coming on. I'm gonna show you guys how I make the red chili for my tamales. I'm gonna show this to you in segments, but you'll see this in all one video. So right now, I'm gonna show you what you need to get the chili going, to get it boiling, and like the process that I do to cook my red chili and make fresh red chili. Now this red chili isn't just for tamales. You can use it for enchiladas. You can use it just to have it on hand, or actual red chili with beef or pork and potatoes. So let me show you what you're gonna need just to get it started, to get it boiling. And I'm sorry in advance for all the noise. I have the dishwasher going. I have the little one back here. She's talking. The two of my older children are in the living room watching Mr. Bean. So that's where all the noise is coming from. So first off, you're gonna need some vegetable broth or chicken broth, a broth that's kind of light. So this is the one that I'm using. So I have my vegetable broth here, minced garlic, and then you're also gonna need a whole small yellow onion. So I have mine quartered here. I'm gonna get it finished getting peeled, and then I'm going to get it into the pot. So let me turn you a little bit so I can show you what we're about to do. Oh, and then also you're gonna need a bag of chilies. Why is it every time I start recording you guys come in the kitchen? You're gonna need a bag of chilies, whatever your level of heat is, that's what you use. I'm using mild just because I have others that are eating with, and it can get a little spicy if it goes hotter than that. Alright, so here we go. So in our pot, we're going to add the broth. I have already shaken this, so I'm just going to add this into my pot, the whole carton. Set that to the side. I'm gonna throw in my onion. You can take her with you if you want. I had just put her in there just. Okay, so we're just gonna take the outside off of the onion, and we're gonna get the onion put into the pot. Now I want you to know everybody does theirs different. So no two types of red chili are the same. You just ate breakfast about an hour ago. It's kind of early for a snack. So no two pots of red chili are going to be the same. Now the way I make mine is how I was taught. Yes, I'm an African American woman, but I grew up in a Mexican family, and I just, that's just the way I'm going to show you is how I grew up with it and how I like it, and I'm not going to deviate from the way that I was shown to make it. Now I have, changed the recipe over time, but that's because I've learned to properly adjust so that it's not so bitter or so spicy. So now you're going to see me add in the garlic. So I don't know, about maybe 4 cloves. I don't really measure. Unfortunately, like when I give you guys recipes, you're going to have to adjust the seasoning and stuff to your liking, just because I don't measure. So that's why you always hear me say about, just because I could, like if I were to sit and measure it for you, I'd be here all day. So that's in the pot. Set that right here in the sink. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to get this on to start boiling. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to clean out our chili pods. And by that, what I mean is we're going to take off the ends and we're going to shake the seeds out. Now these chili pods are soft and pliable, meaning that these are still fresh. They're not old yet. Normally when your chili pods get old, they are like really dry and hard and crispy. So like when you tear the end off, it's just gonna crack and it's not gonna tear off nicely, and you can just get all the seeds out. But the one thing about with that though is like if you were to shake it, all the seeds would just come out because it's dry and they've already like started detaching from the chili pod itself. So right now, this is what you see me doing, is cleaning this out. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I have a paper plate right here. So let me just move so the lighting is not so bright. Alright, so I have my finger in here. You see I'm just making sure to get the chilies out. I mean, you can leave the chili seeds in there, but I just prefer to take them out. And then for the chili, I'm going to do about a half a bag, because when I make my masa, and I'm going to show you guys how I make my masa, I will be adding a little bit of broth to it to help with the moisture, not just, adding in the chili. So I'm going to show you a few more of these, and then I am going to take you guys to the next scene when it's time to get to the next scene. And in the next scene, you're gonna see this. I'm gonna show you what it looks like after it's been boiled. So I'm going to show you the pot after it's been boiled, and then I'm going to take you along as I put it in to the blender to blend, and I'm going to show you like the whole entire process, because after it's been blended I'm going to strain it into a bowl to make sure that there's like all the, if there's any chunky particles left, that all of those are out. So yeah, so you guys are gonna get to go along with me as I do this process. Like I said, everybody has their own way of doing things. Everybody is grown up different, making them if it's a part of their tradition, their family tradition. This is the week before Christmas, so I will be hopefully getting this all done before Christmas. So that is the goal. Um, so that you can see. I mean, you don't have to make tamales for Christmas. Tamales are a year-round thing, but traditionally, the family gets together and you make them for Christmas. Um, so yeah, I know I say a lot. It's because I'm trying to gather my thoughts and do this at the same time, and I'm trying to make sure I'm not like skipping anything. And then also, I have my beef here, sitting right here on the side of the counter. So then when it comes time to show you guys how I mix the red chili into the beef, I'm going to show you as I'm shredding the beef, and I'm going to also show you as I'm mixing the masa, because not all the red chili is going to go into the masa. Some of it will go into the beef. So I am going to get this all finished up, and then we will be going to the next step. Alright guys, see you, well, no, not even see you guys later, because what am I talking about? This is my first time doing like a whole long segmented video. I normally end it and go to the next thing, but not today. Okay, so now I'm back and I'm going to show you guys the next step. Okay, so I showed you what I do when I'm boiling the chilies and getting them ready to go into the blender. I know it's darker, but I had to adjust the lighting because now that the sun is out, it is super bright in this house, and I had this light on and it makes it bright. So we are in a little bit of the dark, but it'll still work the same to show you what I need to show you. So now, let me bring you over here. In my pot are the chilies. They're done boiling. They're nice and soft, so this is what it looks like. I'm gonna show you now what you need for the next step. Sorry about the noise. It's my coffee pot. Actually, let me just shut it off because I already got my second cup of coffee. So I'm gonna show you what you need for the next step. You're gonna need salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, pickle juice, and I don't know if you can see this because of the way the packaging is, but menudo seasoning. So right now I am about to get my chilies scooped into the pot. Now if you hear any extra noises, they're my children. Oh, and also you're gonna need just a little bit of water just in case you need to add in more liquid to the blender for your chilies. Let me get this, make sure you guys can see me. Whoa, almost lost you guys. Getting this added in. Son, no more cookies. No more cookies. And Mama's cooking right now. No, son, no more cookies. Stop pulling me, please. No more cookies. Ask Nene to get you a different snack. No more cookies. And the reason why I'm using 2 spoons is to help keep stuff from like falling everywhere. Now as you're putting this into the blender, you will see that some of the juice is coming out of the chilies and going into the blender. I'm trying not to make like a really huge mess. I already got to clean my cabinet, as you can see. Well, you can't really see from this angle, but I've got a little bit of chili juice on. Take him to the drawer to pick a snack. So I've got a little bit of juice in here, and I'm just gonna pour the rest of this into the blender. Let me make sure that I have enough room to do this without making a big old mess. So let me show you guys what I have to do. So I'm just gonna pour this in here. All right, now remember, that's all the broth and the chilies and the garlic and the onion. Okay? So now, let me get my spoon over here. Oh, just take that off. Okay. So now we're gonna add in some salt. And you do taste this as you blend it, like after it's blended, before you take it out. Please do taste it for seasoning. I mean, you can, you know, blend it and do all of that, take it out, put it in the bowl, and still adjust the seasoning. So that's not a big deal, but just make sure you check for seasoning. You want it to have a nice flavor. Let me just open it this way. Pepper. And then oh, and I forgot, you do need some cumin, so I will go over here and grab the cumin in a minute to put it in. So this is the menudo mix. Son, your sister's sleeping. Menudo mix, which I do need to buy more of this because I'm running low. You put it back in its bag. Now with the pickle juice, you only need a little bit, but that just helps cut down the pickle juice. Because of the vinegar in the pickle juice, it helps cut down on the acidity and the bitterness of the red chili. So I just added in some cumin. Let me show you guys. So this is the cumin that I am using. Oh, focus. There we go. I hope you can see that. Pretty good. There we go. Cumin. Okay. All right. And then, like I said, some pickle juice. So we're just going to add some of this in here. On the top. Not a lot. Well, I always say not a lot, but you do a little bit the first time you do it, and then you adjust it. All right, so now we're gonna get this lid on, and we're gonna get this blended. You're gonna blend it really well. You don't really want to see little pieces of the skin of the chilies. Now you are gonna strain this, so there will still be some, but a really great chili is nice and smooth. Just gonna let this go. And as you can see, as it's blending, as it's blending, that it has enough liquid in it. This is what it looks like. And it's going to go, and I'm going to actually show you in the light what it's supposed to look like after it's done blending. So I am going to actually add in just a little bit of liquid. now we're gonna taste this. We just want to make sure the seasoning is right. Just because it's already in the blender, why take it out, dirty up the bowl, add in more seasoning. We just season it, blend it some more, then strain it into the bowl that it's gonna go into. So give me a minute to get a steam. So you just dip just a little bit. See? So this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that. So this is what it looks like. I'm gonna make it so you guys can see pretty good. There we go. So this is the consistency right now. It sticks to the spoon. It's not drippy, which is really nice. Has good seasoning. Has really good seasoning. Now I want you to understand, you do not need to put too much seasoning in the chili, just because when we do the masa, which will be the next step after we get the meat together, I'm going to show you at the same time like how I do my meat and shred it all up, get the chili mixed in, and then I'm also going to show you after that the masa and how I do the masa. But first I'm going to show you the next thing, which is to strain this into a bowl. So I'm gonna really quickly, I'm gonna let you guys see me. Well, you don't need to see, but I'm gonna get this all put away and cleaned up, and then I'm going to bring my bowl over here and my strainer so you guys can see me strain it.
What are you making?
It's red chili. Can you, don't put that there, because get your cup off this space, because I'm using this space.
Sorry.
Okay. Where's my bowl and my strainer? Oh. Turn this off. Push that back. Okay. Let me set this down. Let me unplug the blender. Sorry everybody, I have like a whole process that I do. Okay. So I need my spoon. All right, got my spoon, got my chili, and let me point you guys down so you can see the bowl as I do this. So right here on my bowl is my strainer, and all you're gonna do is pour this right through here, and I still have my pot nearby, so I'm gonna strain the chili. Oops, and I'm making a mess. I got a little bit in there, but it's okay. So you're just gonna gently push this through and get all of the, like there's still skins and stuff. Sometimes, I don't know for what reason, even if the chili is fresh, you still get a lot of like skin pieces, and then there's still a lot of seeds. So we're just straining this. And what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna get a cup of water, and I know this is gonna sound weird, but to make sure that I am maximizing and getting the maximum amount of chili from what's in here, I'm going to get some water just to run it through to get all the chili out. Son, please get out of the fridge. Are you getting more cheese? I hope you're eating the cheese. Stop screaming. You gotta stop screaming. You can't be screaming like that. Yeah, here. Here's your cheese. Go watch Mr. Bean. Here, go watch Mr. Bean quietly. Yes, Bean. All right, so I'm gonna just pour a little bit of water in here, and it's gonna help me strain the rest of this chili out from what's here in the strainer, all these bits and pieces. So you see, so now this is what I'm left with. This is like all the bits and pieces that are in there. So now I'm gonna repeat the process. I have a small strainer, so it's gonna take me a little bit, but yes. And then what you do with that is you can throw it away, but if you're into gardening, that would be a good thing to use, like for pulp. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but like to put it in your garden instead of just throwing it away. So yeah, so I'm gonna repeat this process a couple more times, probably like 2 more times. And you're gonna do this slow just because, you know, if you do it too quickly, you're gonna get all the pieces that you don't want in there. Then we're just gonna strain it and get all the stuff out. And it's coming out. It's a slow process. You can't rush this. Like, if you want nice, good chili, whether it's for tamales, enchiladas, or red chili, you really gotta be patient. And this is also good to like jar your red chili and have jars or bags even of red chili on hand in the freezer. So this does freeze up really well. I personally feel like red chili tastes better homemade than from a can. I buy the can just for convenience, just because, you know, it does take a little bit. You gotta have patience, and then, you know, I'm a mom. I have 5 kids, so sometimes my kids are like, mom, and I have to, you know, stop everything to just give them that love and attention that they're needing. All right, so now I'm gonna add in more water. So this is a task that if you have somebody there to like help you out, it's a good thing to have somebody. All right, and we're just gonna keep going with this. Now the spice level on this is perfect. It's a little bit spicy, but it's not like crazy spicy. So if you have children or even just family members in general who don't like spicy food or don't like it really spicy, but they'll eat spice, this is the green bag is perfect. So I'm gonna keep going with this. But yeah, the green bag is perfect. You know, it doesn't get really spicy. You know, the different color bags are different spice levels, so do remember that. But I always get the green one. Now, one time I bought red chili pods from a vendor at a farmer's market, and it didn't have the level of spice, so I assumed that what I bought was mild. They were really hot, and it didn't matter what I did to cut the spice. You know, adding cream, adding more broth, adding vinegar, adding pickle juice, all of that. Like, it was still really hot. So, you know, you just got to be very mindful of what you're purchasing and ask. Like, if you get it from somewhere and it's not labeled of what the level of spice is, make sure you ask. Don't just buy it and assume, like I did, that it wasn't hot or wasn't very hot, because there was nothing I can do and I had to throw it all away. We couldn't eat it. Now, not all of this red chili that I'm making is going to be used in tamales, so some of it I will jar up, or actually, better yet, I'm going to just bag it because, you know, I got to save freezer space. But, and then when I need it for like enchiladas or anything, just take it out, defrost it, and there you go. So, and then I've got one more time of having to do this, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like in the bowl, like the consistency, which it's a very nice, smooth consistency. See? I just make sure. And then I will run some water through the strainer one more time just to make sure I get all that chili that's on the outside into the bowl. So here's this. It's looking really good. And I'm making a big old mess on the floor. And then I just keep making a mess and putting stuff everywhere. Oh my Lord. I'm struggling just a little bit today. All right, this is the final sift. This is the final amount that's in here. It's very little, but I did get a good enough amount of homemade red chili out of this. So here we go. And then what you can do is to make sure you're getting all of the red chili out of the blender, I'm just gonna add some water to it and swirl it around. And just because you don't want to leave too much in there, so I got some water in there. I just swirled it around, and then I will, when I come to get all of the rest of this out, I will be throwing it through the strainer. And then voila, there you go. Now, some people feel that red chili is a little bit difficult to make. It can be, depending on the tools you have, but if you have the right tools, you can do it. Because like I said before, fresh red chili, there's nothing like it. Homemade, fresh made red chili is so delicious and just, it's so good. All right, so now I have all my red chili strained, and now I'm gonna show you guys the consistency so you know what it's supposed to look like. So there we go. And I'm gonna just do a little quick scrape, make sure I get all of the goodness off the bottom of the strainer. Okay, let me carry this over here. I'm done with that. Let me stir this around. So because I did use a little bit of water, it is a little bit thinner. So let me show you. So initially, when we did this, it was thick still. But the more liquid you add, the thinner it gets. Okay? So I hope you're able to see what I'm talking about. Let me turn you some more. Okay. So you see right here in this bowl, this beautiful red chili, fresh made. And it's not hot, like it's not hot temperature wise. When I say hot, it's the temperature of it is not hot. It is like room temperature. Okay, this is what it looks like. Let me show you on the spoon. You see, I mean, it drips now, but it still coats the spoon really, really well. I hope you can see that. Let me come over here and show you. The spoon is nicely coated. Come on, camera, focus. There we go. See? You see that? Nicely, nicely coated. So this is what it looks like. Again, it's here in the bowl. Ooh, I'm kind of losing you guys a little bit, but it's okay. So this is my homemade. All right. So I'm back. I'm here to show you the next part. I had to take a break, taking care of the little ones, and then I'm also working from home, so I had a couple of meetings and things like that. So now I'm back to be able to continue on showing you the next part of the tamale making process. So in this next part, we are going to mix the masa. So for this, I already have a bag of masa that's just been the corn and the water mixed together. Um, Salt. I have my baking powder. It's right here in this jar, and it's labeled baking powder. I like to use stock just for some added moisture. You're going to use some manteca or lard. And then I have my red chili from earlier. Alright, so let's get this started. So, sorry, the baby is in the living room playing with her toys and watching TV. So we're going to put about half of this bag of masa in there. And then in here, I'm going to put salt. And I let my masa warm up to room temperature. I know it says to keep refrigerated, but I like it to be up to room temperature. So the first thing we're going to do is salt the masa and add baking powder. I'm going to have to probably pause and then come back again. But we're going to add in the baking powder. Let me actually zoom you guys in. I don't know if you can see good with or without the light. So we're going to open the blinds real quick. Okay, just so we have some more light. We're going to add in the baking powder. And I just shake mine in. I don't know how much this is. I just shake it in. The baking powder just helps to make it puff a little bit when it's cooking and be soft. Alright, so now I'm going to just squish this into the masa first before I add in the lard, which will be the next step. Okay, now we're going to open the lard and get the lard mixed in. And I just did like 2 scoops of lard into the bowl. Let me see. I'm gonna move you guys just a little bit closer. And I'm sorry about the outside noise. My neighbor is getting his motorcycles ready for tomorrow. So that's what you hear. He's getting ready to go on a ride. Okay. So we get this all incorporated in. Okay. Now the next step that I'm about to do is add in some red chili. I'm going to just pour it in here. It's not just for flavor, but also for color. And we're just going to get this all together in here. So see, it's turned into a nice like red color. So I'm gonna add in now some more of the masa out of the bag, just so I have more to work with. I like to mix it a little bit at a time, just because I want to make sure that it's correct. I don't want to have a whole bunch of this in here and then have to adjust it again and again and again. And right now, just with the red chili, the lard, and the salt, the masa is at the consistency that I would like it to be for spreading. I'm gonna add just a little bit more lard and red chili. I'm not gonna add any more salt or baking powder right now because I gotta taste it for one. And so yeah, so she's watching Sesame Street. They started singing, so she's listening to it. Okay. And I mix this with gloves on. One, because I'm going to be sharing these with other people, but two, I don't like the way masa feels. And actually, let me just take my gloves off and put fresh gloves on. And then, okay, and then I also have my stove on, boiling hojas or corn husks to put the tamales in. So I'm gonna do another 2 scoops of manteca, and then I'm going to add in some more red chili. And the first like couple, no, not even a couple, because it's only 2 people that don't eat meat or anything in their tamales. So like the first batch of my tamales will be made for my daughter and my ex-mother-in-law. They like tamales, but they like it with just nothing on the inside. They just like the masa. They like the taste of the masa. So that's what I'm gonna do for them. Just so they can have some that are for them. And then I'm also going to do some for somebody who asked for no olives. Normally we put olives in ours. So I'm gonna make sure that I got them with olives. I mean without olives for them. She asked for 6 red and 6 green. And I'm also gonna show you guys how I make the masa and everything for my green tamales. So that'll be in here too. But first we're gonna focus on the red, because the red has a lot more components with the green ones. All I do is shred the cheese, get the green chilies all together, my cream corn and everything, and I mix it in the masa together with the lard and the chicken broth and the salt and the baking powder. Because with green chili tamales, it's a little bit different. And I have a lot of beef meat to use. So now I'm going to just go ahead and add in the rest of this in here into the bowl. I do this in sections because I want to make sure everything's good. And I'm actually going to give this a taste. And I'm going to make sure that I need to put in more salt and more red pepper, because that's what it's needing. That's what I'm tasting that it's needing. But first, let me get the rest of this masa mixed in here. Now, if they had a machine, well, besides a stand mixer, I wish I had one of those, and that'll be the next thing that I get myself, just to do, because I do a lot of baking also, which I will be coming on here to show you my praline pecans. It was a request for Christmas this year. A friend asked for some, so I'm gonna make some of those and get those made, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. So now this is almost all the way mixed. Let me add in some more salt. You want this to be kind of salty because as they steam and cook, the salt's gonna permeate. Into the into the meat and into the filling. So you want it to be kind of salty. Let me just grab a spoon real quick. So I just grabbed a spoon to put the lard in with. And then after I'm done mixing this batch of masa, I'm going to actually just take this lard and put it in the fridge. I do keep it refrigerated, just because it's safer that way. I don't want anybody to get sick. Okay, there's that. And we're gonna add in some more red chili. And then whatever red chili is left out of here, I'm gonna mix it into my meat. So there's that. Let me just get this with my hand to make sure it doesn't drip everywhere. And we're gonna get this all mixed together, and this is how you do the masa. So I'm gonna let you guys finish watching me mix this. And I'm gonna give it another taste test, and then I'm gonna show you once my hojas are done softening all the way. I mean, they were pretty soft because they're fresh, but I like them really soft because you got to be able to fill them, roll them, and them hold up during the steaming process or in the freezer. So here is the masa. So here's this. And then I'm also, before I show you how to assemble it, I'm gonna take a break and get the baby love out of her jumpy because she is not thrilled being in there. But yeah, so this is how it looks. This is my masa. It's gonna be a little grainy unless you continue to mix it. Normally I make it fresh, straight from the bag, but this year to cut on time and to save me time, I'm not gonna do that. And it's at the level that it should be. So give me a few minutes to come back and I will show you how to assemble. Alright, so I'm back again. Now I'm going to show you how to assemble the tamales. So I have here my bowl of masa, corn husks, my red chili, black olives for some of them, and wrapping papers. And I also, to make this easy on myself, I had bought the kids chips, and so the box was almost empty. So I'm using this box to help keep them together, like to stack them. And we're gonna stack them with the open side facing to the opening of the box. So as they get stacked, the inside, the juice and everything doesn't come out. And then I also have, for when I'm ready, Ziploc bags and a Sharpie to label what tamales are what. So the first ones that I'm going to do are just plain, no filling in them for those that like them without the filling. And I'm not going to make very many of these just because it's only 2 people that like it like that. So all we're going to do, normally I do this with a large spoon, but this year I'm going to try it out with the spreader. It's my first time using this, so we're going to see how easy this is. And I'm going to point you guys down so you can see what I'm doing. So right here I have the masa on my spreader, and all we're going to do is push it down and spread. And I'm going to take some of this off, and I'm going to just, again, press it down and spread. So I need just a little bit more. And this, I guess, just helps to control the amount of masa that you're using. So there we go. We're going to just spread this all the way down. Alright. And I'm going to just set this like this. And I'm going to roll it up. Just like that. And I'm actually going to put another one with it, just because that's kind of small. So the same thing. We're going to get the masa. I'm going to put the masa on here. And I've seen some people where they do it and they're like really good at it. I hope I get to that level. And I'm actually thinking of just getting a placemat and putting it underneath just so I have an extra support underneath this. Yeah, I'm going to get a placemat for this. So give me a minute. Let me roll this up and I'm going to do just that. Okay, so there you go. There's the first one. It's plain, nothing on the inside. Okay, and I'm going to just wipe this spot just because I don't want there to be a lot of moisture and the placemat like sliding all over the place. So here's my placemat. Oh, this one's dirty. Okay, I'm back. Again. Try this again with a clean placemat. So, here we are. We got the oha. I'm going to use the masa that I have sitting right here. And we're just going to spread this on here. Let me get some more. And we're just going to get it. And we're going to press it on there. And it's okay if you get it on the placemat. You know, the placemat's clean. You just scrape off what's the excess. Set this to the side. And you're just going to roll it just like that. Alright, so that's plain. So I'm going to make about 6 of these. And I'm going to just keep reiterating it and showing it to you guys. And then I'll show you some with the meat filling. So you see, I just put it on there, and we're gonna, the only thing that is like a struggle with this spreader is getting the masa evenly across when it's like a big oha or corn husk. I'm used to calling them ohas, so if you hear me saying oha, just know that I am talking about the corn husk. And yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. And here comes my 2-year-old. He's about to come over here and probably see what I'm doing. And we're gonna roll it. And roll it. There you go. There's 3. Yeah, light. You got your lights? Yeah, I see your lights. They're nice. Oh, it's okay. Those are your lights. You play with your lights. Go watch Paw Patrol. Don't touch anything, please. Mama's cooking, so you can't touch the food. You gotta let me cook. That's not an apple, baby. That's an olive. Here, do you want to try it? I don't know if you'll like it. Here. There you go. Go try it. Go sit and watch Paw Patrol. Okay. And I'm trying not to let him like be on video because he's not wearing any clothes except the pull-up. And I don't want anybody saying anything to me about the child that's not wearing clothes. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You eat it. Alright, so now I'm going to just scrape some of this masa off into the bowl. Because then I'm going to put more masa on here. Please stop. I don't want you to push anything because I need this workspace. And it's okay if like on your plain ones that there's like gaps because it's fine. They'll eat it just like that. I don't normally make plain ones like I said. No, I need this. Thank you. But I'm doing it for those that do not eat filling. Please. I need the olives. Stop messing with them. Thank you. I know you want to help me, but right now you're helping me by not touching. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Get the masa on there, on the spreader, and we're going to put it in here, and we're going to spread down and go across. There you go. Alrighty. And we just clean it up just like that. And we're going to leave it like that because I'm going to use what's on there. So what is that? 4, 5 is right here. 5. And then here's going to be number 6. No, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so here's number 6. I'm only going to do 6 of them because it's only like one person that doesn't eat the filling. And sometimes she'll eat the green chili ones, so that's what I'm kind of hoping for. Okay, let me put a little more masa on here. Oh, and I'm like making a mess everywhere. Okay, here we go. So here's 6. I might make, depending on how much filling I get, please don't do that. The ones with the filling I make, I will probably make some more that are just plain, but for now I'm going to start with 6. So now the next step, please do not touch that. Okay, so I'm going to just set that in there. My next step to show you guys is the wrapping of the tamales. So, like I said, we're using wax paper to do this. I hope you're able to see good. Okay, there you are. Alright, so I have my tamale right here in the center of the wax paper. We're going to fold this like it's an envelope. So you're going to bring the corner up. You're going to make a little crease. You're going to bring that over and you're going to crease it again. Do it just like that. So you see how it's an envelope? Oh, can you bring it down this way? See how it's now in the shape of an envelope? You're going to roll it. You're going to flip it around. And you're going to tuck the inside in. And you want to crease that to make sure it doesn't open. And then I'm going to just, wherever I put my marker at, please stop throwing things. Oh, here it is. And then I have my Sharpie here. Please stop, son, I don't need that. I have my Sharpie here, and all I'm going to do is mark it with a P to let me know that this is plain. So I just put a P on it. I got 5 more to do, and I'm going to slow it down and show it to you again. So, again, we're right here, center of the wax paper. You're going to fold the wax paper over. You're going to fold this in. You're going to crease it. You're going to fold it over, just like that. Bring it towards you. Then you're going to fold on the inside. And you're going to crease this, just like that. And here you go. You have a wrapped tamale, nice and neat. And we're just going to mark this with a P again. Alrighty. So now I just have, a couple more to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I do it with the filling. So I'm going to bring this back over here and I'm going to show you some of the tamales with filling. And what I'm going to do is I'll put the ones that are just meat right here in the middle, and then I'll put the ones that have olives over here on the side, just so you know what's going on. So I need the hoja. Thank you, son. Okay, so I still have some masa on here. You're my son. Thank you. I don't need it right now, but just leave it there. When Mama needs it, she'll ask you for it. My 2-year-old's trying to help me do this. No, son, I don't need that yet. Stop. Okay. So we're just going to spread the masa on there. Oh, I guess as you do it more, you get kind of good with it. I'm going to just set this to the side. All right. So now I'm going to just put some meat right here in the center. Just like that, right in the center, and you're gonna fold it and roll it. It's weird when you do it with those that don't have any meat in the middle, just because it's just flat. So this is my just meat. Can I? Never mind, thank you. You're using that one, so I'm gonna get this one. Oh, I need a bigger one. Here's a bigger one. Okay. So then again, we're gonna do the same process. I'm going to show you one when I put the olive in, which all we do is just set the olive right on top of the meat. Okay. So here we go. We got the masa on the spreader, and we're going to make sure the hoja is as spread out as possible, and we're going to just press it down. Press it down. And press and fan. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, press and fan. That's exactly what we're doing. Press and fan. Thank you, son. Stop throwing these. No, Josiah, no. I don't need any more. Thank you. press and fan. Okay, so I have the masa on there, and okay, we're gonna do it like that. So that one is just meat. This one is gonna have an olive in the center, and I try not to put too much meat. And then if there's meat left over, it's always good to make like red chili burritos or something out of it. And then I'm gonna just take an olive. So you see, I have the masa on the hoja, the meat in the middle. There's the olive, and we're just gonna roll this all the way over, and we're gonna roll it just like that. And there you go. All right, guys. So I'm gonna get going with making the rest of these, and then when we join back together, I will be showing you guys how I do the green chili tamales start to finish. The cheese, the green chilies, the masa, the manteca, the salt, the stock, everything, baking powder, everything mixed in together in one bowl. It's not gonna be like separate bowls for separate things. So that'll be all in one bowl. So give me a little bit to get these all done, and then I will come back to you in a little bit and show you my green chili ones. Okay, I'm back. So I'm gonna show you guys what you need for green chili tamales. You already know the basics: the masa, the lard, the salt, the baking powder. You're gonna need cheese, shredded cheese. I shredded this myself. This is not out of a bag. I'm doing a little cheating, and I'm using canned green chilies. I hope you can see that. Diced green chilies. Cream corn. And again, broth. So I'm gonna get this all mixed in. It's really simple. We're gonna put the corn in. We're gonna put all the chilies in. It's kind of like one of those dump and go crock pot meals, just like that. Here's the other can. And then I have a container right here that was in the refrigerator that has green chili in it, so I'm going to use that too, which this can was opened recent, before anybody says anything, just so you know. And this has been strained, so there's not that much of the chili juice going in here, just so it's not so hot. I normally buy them fresh, but I didn't do that this year. Taking some shortcuts. Okay, so there's that. Let me open the chicken stock so I can get a little bit of this. You just need it for the moisture to help mix this in. Okay, so I'm gonna get this mixed real quick, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like. I'm not gonna show you guys me putting it all together. You've seen me do it with the red ones. It's the same method. It doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the masa that you're mixing. If you're mixing it different flavors from red and green, you mix this, or I should say, you put what you like in your tamales. It doesn't have to be red and green. It doesn't have to be beef. It can be vegetable. It can be chicken. It can be turkey. It can be whatever you want it to be. So, and I just used the same bowl I was using before for the red masa because I do not want to be washing a bunch of bowls. Really, it's like only a little bit of us that like green chili tamales anyways. So here's the cheese going in. I mostly like the cheesy part of it. You make sure that all this cheese stuff from the bottom. And then get this all mixed in, and then I will show you the final product of what it looks like after it's been mixed. And then I'm going to get these all put together, and I'm gonna call it a night after that. And then I will start again tomorrow with the remaining red chili tamales. So, let me get this mixed. Some of my cheese like stuck together, but I guess it's okay. And the amount of masa that I bought when I bought it, I bought 3 5-pound bags from Food City. We're in Arizona, so if you don't have Food City, it would be whatever your Mexican grocery store is going to be, whether it's a little meat market or an actual food store. And I know that some places you can't get already prepared masa. You have to buy the bag of maseca and do it yourself, which is fine. It's the same thing. You're going to get the same result. So don't think that you won't. Or you can even go to a tortilla shop and get masa from them, because they do sell masa, and it's pretty much the same mix that you use for your tortillas is the same mix you use for your tamales. Okay, so here's my masa. Let me, oops, trying to close this. There it goes. So here's my masa. It's all done. I hope you can see it. There you go. See, it's all mixed. Green chilies, cheese, and I do it like this too, so people can't pick it out. So, there you go. Cream corn, masa, manteca, cheese, green chilies, salt, baking powder, and a little bit of stock. So, that's it. You've seen it. I've shown you how I do it. I'm going to get these all made and put together so I can get them in the fridge to rest. That's the other important component. You either put them in the fridge to rest or freeze them before you cook them, so that they have time to settle together and it all just kind of forms and does what it needs to do before you cook it. You can cook them fresh right after you do it, but I found that they actually cook better and actually hold up better after they've been rested before cooking. So that's it. I'm gonna leave you guys here. You guys have a good night. Enjoy your Friday night. Stay blessed, and I will see you in the next video.